Welcome to Waco. We're in the assembly area of the manufacturing plant. And last week we discussed the Big Country bull shank, which is this assembly you see right here. But today I wanted to go over some of the features of the Big Country and why we built it the way we did. But there's been some questions about the name Waco and where did it come from. And back when the founding father, my father, the founder of this company, we were in a small town of Waukeeta, and it stands for Waukeeta, Oklahoma. And if anybody's watched the movie Twister with Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton, that was our hometown. And the opening scene is the helicopters flying around the elevator, and it says Waukeeta on it. And we used to climb up on that tower and put senior 1977 or something, and we'd get in trouble for that. But anyways, that's where the name Waco come from. And so now let's talk about some of the features of the BCW, which stands for Big Country Wagon. It is a wagon style machine. We have 360-degree castering wheels up here. And as a farmer myself and as a young man, there was a couple things that I really didn't like. I didn't like grease zerks, I didn't like bearings going out, and I really didn't like flat tires. So keeping some of those things in mind as we were talking about the features and what we wanted to design in this machine for today's farmer is we do use radial tires. These are fantastic tires. They've worked really well for us. The hubs and bearings we're using on this machine is actually overrated for what we're doing. But the center section, it has 8 bolt hubs on it. But these cast are 360 degrees. All right, there is a grease zerk here. And we do grease these regularly, but this is a nylotron bearing, and it fits inside of here. Tremendous wear, works really well. So the nylotron bearings, you're going to find my little nylotron bearing right there. Shane, if you could grab that for me. We use nylotron bearings in all the major hinge areas. They're here, they're on the back gauge wheel assembly, and we even use these in the walking axles. It has just been a tremendous feature, very easy to replace. In 150,000 acres, I don't know of many of these that's been replaced. The walking axle, about every 50,000 acres, you'll need to replace these. It's easy to do. So there's the gauge wheel. Talking about the frame itself, the frame, our front bar is 4x6 3/8 wall. Everything else is 5/16 wall. Just a really powerful frame. And one of the things in the year 2000 when we were talking about this machine, we were looking at 350 horse tractors, but we knew that it would not be long that we would be talking about, 450 horse tractors. Well, today we're at 650 horse, and I think we'll be at 750 horse. So we wanted to build a tremendously powerful frame that is going to last for the producer today. Some of the other features that we have are cast hinges, big cast hinges. This is really important. And if you take 2 pieces of steel that are unlike, they won't gald, they won't freeze up. A really good unit there. We have eyeballs in all of the front gauge wheels assemblies here. You can adjust your fore and aft or front to back to level the machine with these monster jacks. But then some of the other features that were really done well in the design, and I've got to give my brother some credit for this. You know, we do get along, and not all of his ideas I think are great, but he did really knock it out of the park on this. And that is our adjustment system. Now, if I wanted to put this machine in the ground, I take these off and I just store them right back in. Now I've just lowered the gauge wheels. Now the reason I did that is, as we were looking at older equipment, your cylinders always had some wear and stuff. And I loved rephasing cylinders, but we hated rephasing cylinders. And as you know, when they're brand new, they all work great, but pretty soon you got a wing going in or a center section going in, and it's due to your rephasing cylinders getting worn out. Well, when this comes down and it rests on your depth stops, positive depth stops, it takes pressure off your rephasing cylinders. And that has been a tremendous feature. We can go back to machines that have 150, 200,000 acres on them, and these pins are still very tight and not worn. So this machine that we have in the shop here is a 41-foot machine. We go to all the way up to 59 feet. And the frames are basically the same. So if we're going to 59 foot, we add another section onto these plates with other hinges, and it's got your folding cylinder stubs and stuff here. So if you're getting a 41 foot, it's the same frame as a 59 foot. And we don't put any less steel in it. We make it where it's very powerful and it's going to hold together. One of the other features that we did, I don't know, it's been 15, 20 years ago, we started using a new type weld. And it was a solid core welding system, and it was very expensive, but it really made a great frame. Its tensile strength was 25-30% more. Its yield's better. And the yield makes it flexible. So all the vibration that's in the field, these welds are able to flex and vibrate, take that vibration without breaking out. So it makes a really great frame. Another feature that we have is back on our Hera. This has been an extremely popular Hera. It's a 4-row Hera, and we weld a chromium carbide insert on every tine. The reason we did this is because this Hera, on a brand new machine, you're looking at that Hera probably is somewhere around 60 to 70,000 acres before it wears out. Most Heras are going to wear out much quicker than that. We're trying to give you a machine, not only the frame that has longevity, but we want the Hera to have longevity too. So this is some of the features of the Big Country wagon machine. It is part of the Big Country line of equipment. And here is all of the different foot pieces that we went over last week, that makes it into a field cultivator, chisel plow. For the guys that's grazing out wheat, this is a really nice unit to go in and bust that hard pan. So one machine that can take you from harvest to finish to planting. It has been very successful for us. It's a great machine. Thank you for joining me today in the assembly area at Waco. Our 800 number, 1-800-299-4300, or give us a shout out on our email at wako@wakollc.com. Waco@wakollc.com. Thank you very much for joining me. And next week, we'll be talking about another subject. Thank you very much.